All right, folks. Well, welcome back for another week of racing here with the Tuesday Night Racing Series. My name is Dylan Hastings. Tonight we changed it up a little bit. We actually are running the 1987 Cup cars here at Charlotte Motor Speedway this evening. So it's going to be an exciting race tonight. We've got two heat races along with a last chance qualifier. And then we've got a 60-lap heat race here to kind of change things up a little bit, throw a little wrench at things, and just see how, basically just to go out and have fun tonight. So we wanted to bring the broadcast to you, and so hopefully you guys are able to tune in and enjoy the broadcast just as much as we will. And thanks again for tuning in as usual. Really appreciate it. And for those that came out tonight to race casually, truly appreciate them coming out to do so as well. As you can see, the cars are gridding up here. Some really nice paint schemes tonight. We got Wesley Burchett, Zachary Taylor, Chris Bedwell, Joseph Mahar, Brandon Robertson, James Kunkel, Matt Grenier, Dana Shepard, Dustin Reeves, David Harden, and George Williams. All amazing, sharp paint schemes. Here's our first 11 drivers here in Heat 1. We'll be getting kicked off here in just a minute. With that said, here we've got track temperatures tonight of 104 degrees, so it's really hot. It's going to be slick. Outside temperature is 80 degrees. 47% humidity, cloudy, a little bit overcast. 9 mile an hour winds, I believe, coming from the southwest. With that said, here we are going to get kicked off here in just a minute. With that said, let's go ahead and take that off the screen here. And truly appreciate all of you guys tuning in tonight. It's going to be an exciting race. I'm really excited for it. See if we can get a different angle here. I'll go back to the other one here as we get ready to roll off the grid here and to take the green flag. Now, they've got 45 minutes here, which is not going to take 45 minutes to do the first heat. So just a heads up on that. Congratulations to Wesley Burchett there for the pole on this particular heat. Zachary Taylor, again, is on the outside as they get started here, as we get ready to roll off. Now, as usual, folks, we've got 70% fuel. The only difference is that the tires really, during the heats, is not really going to matter so much. I believe they have 3 tire sets per heat, and then they've got 3 tire sets total, including the tire set on their car for the features. So it's just going to be an exciting race. It's going to be a lot of fun. That's what we're all about here, is not only to be competitive, but to take this time here during the Labor Day holiday. I hope all of you and your families had a great few days off there, and we can appreciate all of those hard-working people out there that just make this world go around. So with that said, folks, we are going to get kicked off here in just a minute. I'm going to try to bring as many different angles as I can tonight for you. Now, things are programmed here for the truck series. We'll have to see if the angles are messed up a little bit when it comes to the hood and the back of the car, but we'll make sure we bring them to you as best as we possibly can. We are getting ready to go green flag racing here with the pace truck off. Again, folks, we've got 30 laps here.
Green flag.
And they are green. Love the sound of these cars. I enjoy driving these cars, actually. More on super speedways than on Charlotte Motor Speedway, but it's still a lot of fun. You can beat and bang. Many of you guys will see that these the damage model on these cars is the new damage model that iRacing has come out with. They still do not have this implemented for the NASCAR Cup cars yet, which is unfortunate. I'm looking forward to hopefully them bringing this damage model. As you can see here, you'll see, well, let's say I hope that you don't see. Zachary Taylor out front here in P1 at the moment, followed by Wesley Burchett there in the 76. Chris Bedwell is in P3. Brandon Robertson is fighting his way there to keep P4 as these guys come around. Here are a few guys that are making some contact, either with the wall or each other. Man, it's just exciting to see these cars out here tonight and these guys driving something different. It's pretty awesome. I wish I was out there on track with them, but again, as usual, I enjoy bringing you guys the broadcasting. Yeah, Daniel Holcroft, where are you tonight, buddy? thank you all for tuning in. Those that did not show up this evening for the race, obviously it was for those that are in the league that run full time. It was voluntarily something that you could participate in. So we truly appreciate you at least spectating and supporting the rest of the drivers in the league. All right. Daniel says he's working. I understand that, Daniel. But we appreciate you tuning in regardless. We'll see you next Tuesday. All right, we see George Williams making that high line work there as he comes off the wall just a little bit. And David Harden right behind him. That's a sharp-looking paint scheme there. 34, excuse me. All right, we'll keep an eye on these guys in the back here. They've got, again, they got 5 laps in already. No incidents. Made a little bit of contact with each other. There are no faster pairs, so these guys will, their night will be done in the event that they get a lot of damage. With only 30 laps here. Also, I don't know if I mentioned, folks, during these heats, the top 6 drivers will advance automatically to the feature. And then we're going to have an LCQ at the very end after these 2 heats there, where those guys that didn't make it in from the initial heats can fight their way back in, and the top 3 will advance into that final feature. So the other heat drivers are waiting patiently as they're watching these guys race it out. And then it'll be their turn here in about 25 laps. 76 is out front there. He took the lead from the 88. Chris Bedwell still comfortably out in P3. A little bit of gap there between P3 and P4. Then you got James Kunkel right behind Brandon Robertson. They're working together. Definitely need to work together to catch the next pack there. And you can see Joseph Mahar in P7 there with Matt Grenier right in front of him. The cutoff line there is with Matt Grenier in the 15. That Cornflakes car there, I believe that's a Labonte scheme. Don't kill me if I'm wrong. But that's a sharp-looking paint scheme. I actually ran that on the truck a few times. And then we got the 46 there with the Super Flow pink and white scheme there. You can't miss him out there tonight. Dana Shepard sporting the old... oh, what is that? It's like right on the tip of my tongue. Why is it on the tip of my tongue? I should know that. I'll think of it. Oh, the 6 and the 43 make contact.
Caution, caution.
And we have our first caution of the evening.
Tank or a bar or anything like that?
Now, we were on there right when that happened there. Unfortunately, the 43s went to the pits. Let's go back real quick and just see if we can get a perspective from Dustin Reeves as to what happened there. Let me just a minute. Actually, let me go ahead and jump to the... Let's see if I can hop in. Let's see if we can hop in with Dustin Reeves real quick and see. Maybe he just drove up a little bit on him. I don't know for sure, but... let's see if I can go ahead and we can get in his cockpit. Oh, that's with Dana Shepard. Let me go with Dustin Reeves. There we go. All right, so you got Dana Shepard there on the outside, and Dustin Reeves. I think Dustin thought he was not going to come down, so it looks like actually Dana Shepard might have drove down a little bit there onto his front nose, and because it looked like from that angle, anyways, that. Dustin was holding his line, and that Dana just unfortunately came down just a little bit on him there. We're going to go with Dana Shepard here from his perspective. You can see he kind of cuts the corner just a little bit too much. And we're going to go around and around with Dana Shepard there. So unfortunately, that may be the end of Dana Shepard's evening. With him still in the pits. So We're going to go back green here in just a minute as everybody gets cycled around. I anticipate that we've got several people that went into pit lane, which we did. So we missed that, but everybody went into the pits, I'm assuming, to probably get some 4 new tires. Wesley Burchett still out front there in P1 as he comes here to catch the pace truck. Let's go back to live conditions. Oh, actually, they are on pit road at the moment, so I apologize for that there. I kind of got a jump there. I forgot I rewound it pretty far back. So these guys are coming off pit road. Looks like Zachary Taylor is going to beat everybody off pit road. Chris Bedwell picked up some spots. Where is Wesley Burchett? So Wesley Burchett's still on pit road. I wonder if he got speeding. I have a feeling that's probably what happened. Unfortunately, it doesn't show me if somebody gets a penalty. And if it does, I don't know where it's located. Well, that's unfortunate for him, as he just lost the lead. He's going to have to claw his way back up in there. He's going to line back up there in the ninth position. So, out of 11 cars, he's in the back. Dana Shepard, I believe, has parked it. And Zachary Taylor will take over the lead. You got Chris Bedwell giving a little push there, let him know that he's behind him, and that he's going to be charging through there to take over P1. We'll see how that turns out. Everybody's got some clean cars at the moment, but I don't think that that's probably going to be the case for the rest of these laps here. With that said, folks, we're going to go ahead and go to commercial break. We'll be right back with you, and we'll get back to green flag racing. I believe we've got one lap. Actually, I believe we've got 2 laps to go back to green flag. So we'll be right back with you. All right, well, we are back. And we are getting ready to catch the green flag here in a minute. Man, it's a sharp-looking paint scheme. Number 9 there with Brandon Robertson. We're on board at the moment with Zachary Taylor. But you can see James Kunkel there on the outside, currently in P5 there. It's a sharp-looking paint scheme as well. Everybody's paint scheme is pretty awesome looking. Tell you what, though, David Harden's got some experience with some spec mapping because that car is sharp. See if I can give you a good view of that there before we get ready to go green. Look at that car. That's a cool looking car right there. All right, folks, we're going to bring it back out front here as these guys get ready to get back to green flag racing. And Chris McLean says damage repair. Yeah, he's got a lot of damage for repair on that car at 43. Unfortunately, Dana Shepard, I believe, has called it an evening. We're getting ready to go back green flag racing. Here's the 88. Gets a good jump on green the flag. Restart. 7's going to tuck it in underneath him, I believe. And the number 9, Brandon Robertson there, he's going to try to take over as he tries to run that bottom line there to get some momentum off the corner. He might be able to pick up P3 as we see these guys come around the corner. Chris Bedwell just keeping it off the wall a little bit there. Brandon Robertson is going to tuck in right behind him. Let's see if we can keep it on Brandon Robertson at the moment. because we've got a battle here going for P2 at the moment. You got Chris Bedwell, Brandon Robertson, and James Kunkel there on the 48. Brandon Robertson looks to have a little bit more momentum, coming around the corner as Zachary Taylor comfortably out front. And then we've also got a battle back here for P4 at the moment. So we've got three. I think we were 3 wide there for a second. I know we're 2 wide right now, but 76 is going to try to tuck it in there. Matt Grenier is going to close the door on Wesley Burchett as he tries to fight back his way up to the front. And you got Dustin Reeves right behind Wesley Burchett there in the number 6. We've got 19 laps to go, folks, before we decide our 6 drivers. Joseph Mahar has picked up that last remaining spot there for the feature currently at the moment. So he holds on to the 6th spot. And then we got Wesley Burchett again right behind him, looking to try to take that over there before the end of this stint here. Dustin Reeves out there, pretty interesting story with Dustin. I didn't realize that he drove the 87 cars in real life racing. And it's kind of cool to see the pictures that he posted in our team Discord. That paint scheme right there looks very similar to the paint scheme that he ran in real life. And I believe we've got the 48 lost the control of the car there, slid to the infield. He was able to recollect himself. He lost some positions, but he's been able to get back there. The 76 is in the wall. Hopefully he keeps it out of the wall there and off of Dustin Reeves there in the 6. 48's picked up the momentum again as he tries to pass Joseph Mahar in the 46. Let's see if we can kind of zoom in a little bit here and give you a little bit better perspective here. So 76 and 48 are fighting for that next position, which is the cutoff position, P6. Joseph Mahar's made his way up to P5. With that little bit of mix-up there with James Kunkel, he lost a little bit of that momentum, but also lost position as he got loose there coming around to turn 2, off turn 2. And so he's trying to pick back up that position. As you can see, he's trying to claw his way back up here into that 6th spot. Actually, I'm sorry, into the 5th spot. Joseph Mahar slides back into the P6 spot, but it looks like he's up on the high side. Wesley Burchett, this gives Wesley Burchett the opportunity to tuck it in there on the bottom. We'll see if he can make that stick. And he does not at the moment. Joseph Mahar is able to carry the momentum off the corner and may come down to close the door there on Wesley Burchett, which he does. It's hard to maintain that bottom line as Joseph Mahar, you see Joseph Mahar getting in contact there with James Kunkel, and then you got David Harden fighting his way to keep off of the 48. Boy, we got a battle going on here for the 6th position. I hate to not bring you the leaders here, but sometimes that's a little boring to watch these guys just out there by themselves. We got a battle up here, back here, excuse me. Richard Schwaber says, I made a mistake qualifying in the 2nd heat. Yeah, well, that's how the cookie crumbles, my friend. Oh, Wesley Burchett was fixing damage. Okay, thank you, McLean, for that insight. It's probably a good idea. Oh, it's a 34, slides up, gets into Dustin Reeves as he makes another contact, unfortunately. And it looks like
lap one time real quick.
Dustin Reeves is going to keep it off the wall, I believe. And they just miss each other there at the entrance of pit road. So what a turn of events there with the 34 and the 6. Unfortunately, that car right there, Dustin Reeves' car, has experienced a little bit of beating banging here tonight. That's actually some exciting racing right there. I know he doesn't want to hear that, but hey, it made it good for the broadcast. Let's go back and take a look at that really quick. I know as painful as it may be, we're going to go back and look to see exactly what transpired there. We saw it kind of happening there with the 48 had made contact with, I think, the 34. That it was real close. And 48 was able to collect himself again. Unfortunately, lost several positions there as he was getting himself recollected. 34 was just carrying.
Can you go by here, 34, please?
34 was just carrying a little bit too much momentum in the corner. 6 was lifting and just got into the corner.
Sorry about that.
These guys were literally side by side as they were going to collect themselves. The 34 just carried too much momentum and just tapped them again there and brought them around. I believe, again, if I'm not mistaken, the 6 did not hit the wall, nor did the 34. The 34 actually may have. We're going to keep an eye on that real quick. I believe the 34 did make contact with the inside wall. As you can see, he's locking it up right there. And yes, he does make contact with the inside wall. But, man, great job by Dustin Reeves to keep it off the wall and to recollect himself. I know that's unfortunately a turn of events that, it makes it hard to get back up there into contention there with the 6th spot. But, we've got 11 drivers in here, six people fighting for those 6 spots. And, everybody's racing it out. So it happens. Let's go back to live conditions here as we see these guys probably going down pit road, which we do. And it looks like most of them came down pit road for tires, I'm assuming. I don't think that they needed fuel. Dustin Reeves is going to get that damage repaired as we wait for the leaders to come around. He should have a little bit of time there to get that damage repaired. Look who's out in second place, P2 at the moment, Mr. George Williams in the 40. Awesome job, man. 3F Racing out there in P2 at the moment. Brandon Robertson right behind him in the 9. And then you got Zachary Taylor in the 88. So there must have been a little bit of pit road strategy there for these guys. The 15's having a little bit of problem with connectivity issues. But as we see these guys sort things out, as they come back around here to catch the green flag, I believe we've got. Let's see, the lights are still on the pace truck, so we've got not only this lap, but we got one more lap after this before we go back to green flag racing. So as far as I can see right now, Dustin Reeves has got himself all fixed up, got some new tires on that number 6 machine. He's back out there to fight for his way to get back up there into contention. David Harden, same thing. He's out there. He's out there looking to pick up some spots. There's not very many spots, obviously, to have to pick up. One little slip up from somebody up here in the top 6 will open that door up for these guys, James Kunkel, Wesley Burchett, David Harden, and Dustin Reeves. Dana Shepard, I believe, he is back out here, so good to see him back out here. Although I believe he is, actually is laps down, so I think he's pretty much, no, he's not. He was able to get his lap back. Great strategy there. With those 2 cautions, looks like he was able to get back on the lead lap. Another thing, too, I forgot to mention is the qualifying or the caution laps do not count for the race. I don't think I mentioned that, and I wanted to make sure that we mentioned that for everybody. So those that are watching that are in the next heat, if you are watching, I don't know if I mentioned that in the drivers meeting, but we are not counting the caution laps. Gives you guys all 30 laps to fight this out and to battle it out there for position. The same thing goes with the feature. We do not count the caution laps. You guys are able to battle it out for a total of 60 laps, regardless of how many cautions we have, and then we have one green flag attempt in the event we need to do so. Chris Bedwell is going to lead us off here on the inside, and then George Williams is out there in P2 in that 40 machine. Really clean at the moment. Exciting to see him up there in the top 5, top 6, actually top 3, I should say. Zachary Taylor is on the inside, right behind. Okay, so Brandon Robertson is in P3. Brandon Robertson's P3 on the inside, and then Zachary Taylor's on the outside there to round out. And then we got Matt Grenier to round out our top 5 with Joseph Mahara, P6. So we're going to watch these guys take off here. And the number 7 gets a good start there. Jump himself out front. He should have pretty good distance there before, as we see if we can get a good perspective of George Williams is going to give a little bit of room for these guys to pass. As he's trying to work the pit strategy, I think, because he, as we see the 9 of Brendan Robertson right behind Chris Bedwell as he makes that work on the outside. We're going to lock on with Brandon Robertson at the moment. And you can hear the on-off throttle time with these cars. 88's going to slip himself into the inside there. Let's see if we can get some good perspective of the racing that's taking place at the moment. 7 still got the lead, but we've got a battle for second place as the 88 dives down to the inside there with those fresh tires. Brandon Robertson, he's going to try to make that slide up in front of Brandon Robertson, who's going to probably try to take the inside here if he gets the momentum carried around the corner. If he can tuck his nose in there before he gets to the corner, he'll have that position back, and it doesn't look like he's going to be able to do so as he's got to let off the throttle. Matt Grenier right behind him there in the 15. We got two Black Car Mafia cars right there, P3, P4 at the moment. And then James Kunkel's back up here in the top 5, followed by Joseph Mahar in P6.
Wesley
so
Burchett, you were gone that whole lap. Just heads up, you're gone again.
Yeah, 76 is blinking pretty bad there. As you heard Joseph Mahar let him know that he is having some connectivity issues, and it looks like he is having some pretty bad blinking there. I don't even think he's actually registered. He's actually not even registering on my telemetry. So it looks like he's going to pull it off the track. Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. It's not even picking him up on the telemetry. So unfortunate turn of events here for Wesley Burchett. He's showing a lap down already. Chris Bedwell's out in front here. We've got 9 laps to go with Zachary Taylor in P2, Brandon Robertson P3, Matt Grenier P4, James Kunkel in P5, and followed by Joseph Mahar in P6. Dustin Reeves fighting his way back up there with the 34. Hopefully they can work together to catch the field. That little bit of damage, it looks like, is unfortunately hindering these two guys to get back up here to the front. Hopefully they don't make contact again, but as the 34 makes a pass on the inside, I think Dustin Reeves is going to try to tuck it in underneath them as he knows he's got a little bit more momentum than he does as they try to get back up to this field up here. Yeah, it looks like Wesley Burchett's going to have to try to figure out if he can get his connectivity issues figured out before the next heat, as he is going to go to the LCQ for the final attempt, so he should be able to get things sorted out. Chris Bedwell still out front here with 8 laps to go. Zachary Taylor, though, is trying to get that P1 spot on the inside as he cuts through the grass there to try to make as much momentum on that corner as possible. He's able to make that car stick on the bottom there. Matt Grenier right behind him, though, in that number 9 Circuit City car. Boy, that brings back some memories. Circuit City, jeez. You know, it's too bad, too, because it's kind of like Lowe's and Home Depot. Circuit City and Best Buy used to be the two competitors. And to be honest with you, I like Circuit City better than I liked Best Buy. Richard Swaverly. Raising Kane in the chat. I get you, buddy. It's all right. We appreciate you watching the broadcast. All right. As we see, Chris McLean is comfortably out in front at the moment. Zach Taylor had to check up whether his tires are just getting hot or he's not able to maintain that bottom lane there. But we got Matt Grenier up here in P4 at the moment. It looks like he's going to try to take over that spot there from his teammate, Brandon Robertson, get himself a podium finish here for this heat. Not that that really matters. As long as you're in the top 6, you're going to go to the feature. It's really just about bragging rights here to finish first in the heat. But Chris Bedwell's still out front here with 4 to go. Zachary Taylor, P2. Brandon Robertson, P3. Matt Grenier, P4. James Kunkel, P5. And Joseph Mahar is going to round out our top 6. Those folks at the moment, as things sit, will advance directly to the feature. Dustin Reeves, anything can happen, though, at the moment, folks, so I'm not going to, that's not set in stone. Dustin Reeves, David Harden, Dana Shepard, George Williams rounds out our top 10 there with Wesley Burchett, unfortunately having to park it there due to connectivity issues. But, again, I think he'll get that situated there before the next heat. Actually, excuse me, the LCQ after the next heat. And so he'll have a little bit of time there to figure that out. And Swavely says, what did you say? Wyoming is 10-ish years behind on the cool stores. Yeah, well, you definitely aren't going to get Circuit City. Circuit City's gone. It's unfortunate, too, because it's just like I said, it's kind of like Lowe's and Home Depot. There was some competition there, and quite honestly, Circuit City had the better prices, but Best Buy's changed a lot now. They're actually a pretty good store. They're pretty clean now. It used to be all out of place, I thought. No offense to anybody that works at Best Buy. The other stores that come to mind there with the kind of the throwback deal is, if you think about Tony Stewart with Office Depot and Office Max. Oh, George Williams going to hit the wall there, but he's able to collect it off the wall. He makes some contact, though. I knew there was a reason why we were watching George right now. That's not the only reason, buddy. All right, let's see who's out front here. It looks like Chris Bedwell is going to stamp his way into the feature, followed by Zachary Taylor, Brandon Robertson, Matt Grenier, James Kunkel, and Joseph Mahar. All 6 drivers are going to advance to the feature. Now we're waiting real quickly for the next group of guys here to grid up. As Chris McLean, it looks like Chris McLean's going to take. Looks like Chris McLean is got the pole. Richard Swaverly second. Kip Easley third. We're going to miss you in chat there, Swaverly. Let's see. Garrett Brown P4. David Brackett P5. Wyatt Brackett P6. Brad Fulham P7. Jeremy Banner P8. Chris Shoemaker P9. Evan Bushmaster P10. And then Barry Knapp P11. So we got, looks like you're seeing twins here tonight, folks. Not really. Your eyes are not deceiving you. We have a 52 and a 39 with the same paint scheme. It's a sharp-looking paint scheme, as you hear me say quite often. Chris Shoemaker's got a really nice paint scheme out there. That Red Bull kind of matches his truck scheme. Jeremy Banner's got the chromed out Dale Earnhardt / I don't know what else that is, but he's got the old throwback to Dale Earnhardt Sr. Brad Fulham has got the Labatt's Blue, man. Anybody that lives up north and in Canada or near Canada knows what Labatt's Blue is. That's the beer. That's the beer of choice up there. I'm actually from the northern border in New York, so I definitely know what Labatt's is. All right, David Brackett. He's got the 3 car, obviously, but the C. Let's see, he's got the CRC. Dominoes. Wyatt Brackett's running the Dominoes scheme. That's a nice looking paint scheme. Kip Easley running the Menards 27. Garrett Brown running the Haviline scheme, and then again Richard Swaverly is running that 38. You might have seen that car as these guys get ready to take the green flag, as Chris McLean is going to take us off, lead us off here for this next second heat. You might have saw that 38 truck, your car, excuse me. I'm always used to saying truck. In the Retro 500 there last night, as he was out there, had a strong run there for a while. I was watching the broadcast there for a little bit, rooting on one of our league drivers. and unfortunately he got tied up into something there. And once you get tied up into damage with these cars, especially at Darlington, your night's pretty much done. All right, folks. Well, let's go ahead and see. These guys are going to get kind of comfortable here as we're riding along with Richard Swaverly at the moment. Currently in P2, Chris McLean still out there P1 comfortably as we're riding along with Richard Swaverly from out there in Wyoming. Well, the 10 car, Garrett Brown there, he's trying to peek onto the outside of the inside to make it work. Looks like he's going to make the high line try to stick. As he comes off the corner, he might be able to carry that momentum. Chris McLean just comfortably out front at the moment. See if we can ride along with Chris McLean. Just listen to the sound of those cars, man. As we ride along here, I think I'm going to crank it up for you guys. Get a little bit of that throaty racing. Bear with me just a second as I do that. Now I'm going to keep quiet for just a minute as we watch these guys come around, as long as there's no cautions. Well, you can hear that snap, crackle, and popping, man. What an awesome sound that is. I'll tell you, that's one of the things. If you've ever been to a race track, if you've never been to a NASCAR race ever in your life, it's an experience of a lifetime. I highly encourage you to go, especially with these new next-gen cars coming out with exhaust on both sides of the car and the difference in sound that the acoustics of these cars make. It's just, man, you can feel it on your insides. It's just amazing. Not only the speed, but also just the sounds of racing. It's truly amazing. If you ever get the opportunity, if you haven't already been, definitely encourage you to get out there to a racetrack. Even if it's a short track, one of your local short tracks, encourage you to get out there and support those guys out there racing. I grew up with a lot of dirt racers, a lot of guys that were dirt racing, just not anybody in particular that I knew real close, but up where I'm from in upstate New York, a lot of the guys up there, it's all dirt tracks. And so that's the only thing I ever really knew as far as go-kart racing, dirt track racing. There wasn't a lot of asphalt racing up where I'm from until you get down to wine country, down in the Watkins Glen area. Obviously, you guys have heard of that for anybody that's been in NASCAR. And so that's really the only asphalt racing that I was exposed to living in New York. And then, of course, moving to Florida, you got the Daytona 500. And now living in Georgia, or North Georgia, actually. Not too far, about 45 minutes from the Atlanta Motor Speedway. So I get the opportunity now to go with my kids to Atlanta Motor Speedway, which we were just there a few weeks ago, about a few months ago. And what a great experience. All right, well, let me stop talking here. Chris McLean's still out front as we're locked on to Chris McLean, but Garrett Brown's trying to give him a little nudge, let him know that, hey, you don't have P1 for very long. Joseph Hari out there says, Labatt is delicious. You betcha, buddy. Making me thirsty right now. Charles Williams there, I missed your comment there from last heat. He said, good save, George. That is absolutely right. That was an awesome save. George Williams is going to have an opportunity there for the LCQ to get back into it with the top three, as those guys are going to all race it out for the top three positions that are going to carry over to the feature. And at the moment, we've got 19 laps to go with Garrett Brown. Looks like he was able to take care of his tires just a little bit better than Chris McLean at the moment as these guys race for the P1 position. Garrett Brown looks like he is going to make himself, looks like he's going to carry his way out there out front. And at the moment, he is taking over the P1 spot. If he can slide up there in front of Chris McLean, if not, maybe he prefers that bottom lane as he tries to arc it in the corner there. As you can see, Chris McLean got a really good entrance there to that corner. But man, the 38's going to send it. Woo! All right, 38 makes a stick. He takes over P2. We'll see how long that's going to last with those tires, but at the moment, he's fighting there to stay up in front. Banking on a caution so he can get some new feel goods. All right. Daniel Holcroft says, get up there, Kip Easley. You can't hear me, but he'll go back and see the broadcast later. 27's out there. He's fighting. Kip Easley's out there in the 27. That's a sharp-looking car. Out of Nixon, Missouri. As you can see, Chris McLean's out there. He's just clawing to get back up there into that spot. The car's just not handling it. Again, these are fixed setups, so it probably would have been better off having a custom setup for these cars, but it probably would have handled a little bit better. But hey, we want to throw a little challenge to these guys. If you're part of the iRacing service, if you're part of the iRacing community, and you've never driven these 87 cars, I encourage you to get out there and do it. It is a lot of fun. Quite honestly, it's really fun in the super speedways. As you can see, Chris McLean's going to slide up there. He might lose another spot there to number 3, David Brackett. We'll have to see if David Brackett's able to tuck it in there in the bottom. As David Brackett's got his son, White Brackett, there right behind him in the 33, as he's just patiently waiting, keeping those tires cool down. And he's looking to pounce at the last moment there. These other guys are out here just, they're trying to fight for position at the moment, but they've got 14 laps to go. The 3 is going to make a little bit of contact with the 27. Not enough to turn him around, just enough to let him know that he's there. You can hear the shocks on these things, man. You put a little WD-40 on those. As these guys try to arc it down in the corner as they have been, you can get some momentum as you slide up the track. As long as you can keep it off the outside wall, you're good. Kip Easley's still comfortably out there in P4, but I say but. Number 3 is looking to take over that P4 spot as Kip Easley gives him the bottom, and it looks like number 3 is going to be able to stick it in there. And Chris McLean, I don't know if he just lost a little bit of traction there or what, but he lost his car and unfortunately is slid back a little bit. 33 is going to stick it in there with the more momentum off the corner. We'll have to see if they're able to make that work. Coming around the corner, I think Chris McLean's going to have to tuck it in behind him as he's banking on a caution to get some tires out there. I think he's realized that real quickly that those tires, as soon as they heat up, they do not want to turn. We've got 12 laps to go here in the second heat, as the drivers that did not make it into the feature are getting ready there for the LCQ, last chance qualifier, for those that don't know what LCQ means. And they're going to have 20 laps to try to fight it. And the top 3 will advance into the feature, which we're going to have 60 laps with these guys here battling it out. Chris McLean's fighting his way back up here. He's trying to keep that 6th spot. Looks like he's going to take over the 5th spot from Kip Easley as he comes off the corner. I think he should be able to make that stick. Now Kip Easley's got the momentum off the corner. See if I can zoom in a little bit, give you a little bit better perspective here. We've got a battle for P6 at the moment. Actually, P5, excuse me. Chris McLean and Kip Easley battling it out side by side here with 10 laps to go. That currently is the battle, simply because, again, we only take 6 drivers from this heat. And so we've got drivers here in the back. We've got Chris Shoemaker in the 4, Brad Fulham in the 19, Jeremy Banner in the 24, Evan Bushmaster in the 52, and then Barry Knapp in the 39, all fighting for that 6th position with only 9 laps to go. So it'll be interesting to see how that all plays out as we come back up here to Chris McLean, who is able to take over the 5th spot there from Kip Easley. But Kip Easley's still comfortably in. No, he's not. P6. He might lose the P6 spot to Chris Shoemaker with 8 laps to go, 7 laps to go. No, 8 laps to go. Chris Shoemaker's able to make it stick out there as he takes over that 6th spot, which is the cutoff into the feature. We'll have to see how that all plays out, whether we keep it green or whether there's going to be a late stage caution here. All right, let's see who our leader is up front. Garrett Brown still comfortably out front. He is definitely comfortably out front, but Richard Swaverly is knocking on his door in the 38, as we'll see if he's able to carry that momentum around these corners to catch him. It is very difficult to catch these guys. Once you lose, if you're out in the clean air, it is super difficult, especially on older tires, to catch the leaders. And you can see Richard Swaverly's overdriving it a little bit on the straights, just simply because he's trying to carry the momentum around the corners to catch the leader, which he is making up some time as the 10's having to check up into the corners so that he doesn't slide up to the wall. And Richard Swaverly is bridging that gap a little bit. Just keep an eye on that ticker there to the left-hand side of your screen. You'll see this 0.32 seconds right now behind him. And Richard Swaverly is driving the heck out of that car to try to catch him, but you can see Garrett Brown still able to comfortably keep it up out front, about 0.3 seconds, 0.45 seconds out in front of him. We'll have to see if he's able to bridge that gap over the length of the race. David Brackett's right behind Richard Swaverly in the number 3 car in the 3 spot, followed by his son Wyatt Brackett in the 33. Both Black Car Mafia drivers, as you heard me mention before in the last broadcast. We had Matt Grenier and Brandon Robertson working together. One thing that this team does definitely do very well is work together when it comes to racing, and they know how important it is to keep together and draft in these cars. And I don't expect them to aggressively race each other simply because they're both currently P3, P4. I think what we need to do is just keep an eye with 4 laps to go. We got Garrett Brown out front, but we're going to keep an eye on this 6th spot because Chris Shoemaker currently right now maintains that 6th spot, but Kip Easley is, let's see, he's about 3 seconds behind him, so I don't think he's going to catch him unless there's a caution. So at the moment, Chris Shoemaker, if he just comfortably maintains those laps, gets him some clean laps in, looks like the top 5 or top 6, excuse me, which is going to advance into the feature is going to be Garrett Brown, Richard Swaverly, David Brackett, Wyatt Brackett, Chris McLean and Chris Shoemaker. Again, we've got 3 laps to go. Anything can happen. We'll keep an eye on this leader out front here. And you can see Richard Swaverly still fighting to try to catch him there in the 38. Garrett Brown's just making that car work around the corners. As Richard Swaverly, is as well. David Brackett, we've got a battle right here for the P3 spot. Again, don't need to be super aggressive because the top 6 are going to make it into the feature. And you definitely don't want to take yourself out. Chris McLean's trying to make a pass there on Wyatt Brackett. As you can see, he's going to the outside and the inside. Wyatt Brackett's going to shut the door on him a little bit there coming into the corner as Wyatt gets really sideways. As you see him there, he's going to check up a little bit. Chris McLean was able to keep it off him and miss him, but Wyatt Brackett's going to lose that P4 spot to Chris McLean, who is now taking over P4. And Chris Shoemaker is trying to do the same thing as these guys are on the final lap here with Garrett Brown. Looks like he's going to comfortably be able to take it and walk away with a win here with, I don't want to call it just yet, but we're going to go quickly back to the P6 spot. And Garrett Brown does cross the finish line. He's going to be our race leader. Or a race winner, excuse me, but you got Chris McLean, Wyatt Brackett, and Chris Shoemaker all battling for that top 6 spot. Brad Fulham just outside of that 6th spot in the 19 Labatt car. And these guys are going to, all right, now we got the LCQ, the Constellation race. These guys are going to be gridding up here in just a minute. And we'll wait for these guys to get gridded up. As you can see, that grid is going to be, we've got a total of 10 drivers that are going to fight for this last chance qualifier. All 3, the top 3 drivers that finish this race are going to advance into the feature to join the 6 drivers from each heat that you just saw. And so we'll be excited to see who these 3 drivers are going to be. They got their last
just
chance.
Heads up, everybody. Looks like it's just 1 transfer spot out of this, so got to get that checker.
It should not be 1.
It shows 3 up top.
Yeah, there should be 3 transfer spots.
Yeah, I believe it's.
Did it change from 3 to 1?
The sim shows that it's only 1 transfer.
Well,
It shows 3 now. It's Heat Racing does that, so.
yeah, so it should be 3. We set it at 3. So let's just go through the grid really quick. Dustin Reeves is going to lead us off here for this last chance qualifier, LCQ as they call it, or Constellation race. Brad Fulham is going to be our P2 driver there in the 19 on the outside, followed by David Harden in the 34. Evan Bushmaster.
3 now.
Evan Bushmaster in the 52. David Harden in the 34.
Thank you, sir.
All right, as we get these guys cycling around here, hold on. So we got Dustin Reeves, Brad Fulham, Evan Bushmaster, Kip Easley, David Harden, Dana Shepard, Barry Knapp, George Williams, Jeremy Banner, Wesley Burchett, who I believe has got his connectivity issues figured out, hopefully, in that 76. And then Jeremy Banner rounds out those 10 drivers to fight for those top 3 positions. So thankfully, that was sorted out because I was pretty sure I put those 3 drivers in there to transfer over. So I hate when mistakes are made, so I'm glad that it did all work out. As the 24 is getting his tires cleaned off, we're going to go up here to the front as these guys go ahead and get ready to go green flag racing. I believe the lights are off on the pace truck. And these guys are going to get kicked off here real quick as we've got 20 laps before we advance to the feature. Again, the top 3 drivers are going to advance into the feature and have a last chance to get themselves into the feature with this last race. Dustin Reeves is going to lead us off here with the sticks out front. As he comes up there to the high line, try to arc that corner. The 34, there might have been contact already made. The 34 right there. 76 made contact with a 40, it looks like. as the 40 brings it back in front of the 76 to protect that bottom lane there in the corner. But the 76, I think, is just going to carry that momentum. He was running up front there in that first heat, so I expect him to be up there. Oh, it's 24 and the 40 are going to be able to, woo! 40 just went for a ride there as he comes back out on track. 24. As you just saw, I think, hey, I wish I could give some points here. I think we're going to have to give, I'm going to have to give George Williams at least some points there for the air that he just caught on that coming through the grass. All right, as we're back up front here, folks, Dustin Reeves is still out in front here, but 27 is going to try to tuck his nose in there and pick up that P2 spot as he was running pretty strong in that last heat. Brad Fulham's figured it out. Evan Bushmaster, though, looks like he might try to peek in there and take over that P3 spot. Wesley Burchett's knocking on his door, though, so we'll have to see if he's able to stay out of the way. Wesley Burchett's going to dive to the inside. We'll see if he's able to make that stick around the corner. As he does, I think he's going to be able to carry the momentum. The 52 is going to let him go as he slides up into the top. 52, though, is carrying the momentum. He's going to come up. He's going to make contact with him. And we'll see the 76 and the 52. I think the 76 is probably going to hit the wall. No, 76 was able to. Man, that was pretty good control right there. Aaron Adcock out there. Emily McLean, run upstairs and tell him to save the tires a little bit more. Yeah, that probably would have been a good idea because I think he heated up those tires a little bit too much there on the beginning there, keeping that car up front. Unfortunately, the hotter these tires get, the harder this thing is to maintain. So you saw the 76 there make contact there with the 52, I believe. We're going to go back and kind of look and see if I can go ahead and show you the man. They both did a great job keeping it off the wall.
Pace car exit into.
We're going to see here. It just looked like you can see that they traded spots here because the 52 is, we're going to try to back it up here. As you can see, the 76 came all the way down to the bottom to try to get that position in the corner. And the 52 gave it to him. But you'll see here as they come around the corner, the 76 was carrying a lot of momentum, and he naturally was going to slide up the track. And you can see the push-off as Rich Swavely's talking about. And so the 76 definitely, he drove into the corner pretty hot. He was going to come up the track, and the 52 read that and went to the bottom. Problem is, the 52 also was carrying a lot of momentum as the 76 was trying to cut the corner to maintain it. Looks like right there, 52 is going to make contact with the 76, going to bring him around. 76 only taps the wall just a little bit, not much damage right there. Great job to the 43 and the 34 missing these two drivers. But you can see Wesley Burchett just slides to the infield there, does not hit anything other than maybe taps the outside wall just a little bit. And they were able to recollect themselves, and nobody else hit them. So they should be able to recollect themselves, get back out there. And as these guys are on pit road right now getting some fuel, and I don't think they're probably getting fuel just because there's only 17 laps in here, but I definitely know that they're getting tires. And so we can see that we've still got a few drivers out there on pit road at the moment. 76 is going to get that damage repaired again. Shouldn't have a lot of damage, though, to repair this time around compared to the Heat 1. So unfortunate turn of events here for the 76 as he's back with us here driving last week and then this week. Excited to have him, as I mentioned last week, back racing with us as he was taking a hiatus there for professional reasons. And we're just glad to have him back here racing with us. So, all right, so Brad Fulham is out in front. Looks like he was able to make the pit strategy work in that Labatt Blue. Man, I'm thirsty. Wish I brought a beer down here. They don't sell Labatt Blue here in Georgia. And then you see Dustin Reeves there in the 6. Going to be on the inside. We're going to go to commercial break, folks, real quick. We haven't really went to commercial break that much just because of some of the exciting action here, but we're going to go to commercial break. We'll be right back with you.
negativity or positivity?
A lot of people look at the hate.
You're not gonna make it.
Had a lot of people doubt me.
They say that girls can't hoop.
They said I wasn't strong enough.
I want better, so I do better. I do this for me.
I'm just gonna work harder, talk less. All I gotta do is put my head down and grind.
Fire inside me can't be put out.
People will always have something to say. Ignite your fire.
All right, well, we are back. Live conditions here. As you can see, we're riding along right now with Brad Fulham as we get ready to take the green flag here. I think we've got one more lap to go around before we catch the green flag. As you see these guys coming around turn 2 at the moment. Get a good look at these paint schemes tonight. The 43. I like that 27 paint scheme too. Boy, that's a sharp looking paint scheme. You can tell his car is pretty clean so far. Hopefully it keeps it that way. All right, as these guys shift it back down, they're getting ready to go green. We're going to bring you a better perspective here as we get ready to go green flag racing. We've only got, well, actually, we've got 17 laps to go. As I mentioned before, folks, we do not count the caution laps at this race. We wanted to give these guys enough chance here to race it out. And then as soon as this concludes here, we are going to our 60-lap feature. As you see, these guys are going to kick us off here. Brad Fulham is going to get a good start there on the inside, followed by Kip Easley right behind him. Great start for the 19, the 27, the 6. 6 had a pretty good start too there, just a little, just not obviously, didn't get a good jump out there in front like the other two did, but was able to tuck it in there to that P3 spot at the moment. Richard Petty, that's who I was thinking of. I don't know why in the world I couldn't think of that, but the 43, great throwback there to Richard Petty. As you see, the 6 and the 43 are going to make contact.
Caution. Guys, just quickly, just remember, nice and smooth, take in fluids, stay by those bands, do what you can to keep cool.
And unfortunately, as you saw there, Dustin Reeves definitely just took some damage, and unfortunately, that situation right there is probably going to put an end to his night because he just unfortunately made a little too much contact. The 6 lifted, 43 did not. And so it actually, I think, is going to put an end to both of their nights. As you can see, the tires are off on the 6. Man, I love that. I love that that damage model. I was hoping you guys would be able to see it. Unfortunately, again, under those circumstances, I know Dustin Reeves doesn't want to hear that, but that was pretty cool. All right, well, the 43 and the 6 looks like their evening is going to be done. And I don't know, did they make contact on the previous? Did they make contact on the previous heat? Because I want to swear it sounds like we went through that once before. So unfortunate turn of events there for Dustin Reeves as he was running pretty strong out front there, but Dana Shepard, unfortunately, as I just mentioned, got a little too hot in the corner. And just, I think it ended his night. Now, David Harden is also on pit road. What happened with David Harden? Said David Harden crashed too. Oh, as the 40 and the 34 made contact a little bit there. Huh. All right. Well, let's go back to live conditions as these guys are going to get. Let's see, the lights are still on the pace truck, so we expect these guys to get situated. Right now, as it stands, if Brad Fulham is able to maintain out front, he's got a good spot The only disadvantage to him right now is with all these caution laps, they're not ticking down on the actual race itself. So it doesn't matter how many caution laps they run, they're going to run a total of 20 laps for this LCQ. So we'll have to see how that all plays out as these guys get ready to come back around. We'll go back to commercial break for just a minute, folks. Give me a break here. Just give me a second to collect myself, and we will be right back with you.
Take everything that you know about your typical energy drink and kick it to the curb, because today we're talking about C4 Original. And this isn't an energy drink, this is a performance energy drink. Well, what does that mean? Well, C4 Original contains 200 milligrams of caffeine, that explosive C4 energy. Also contains incredible flavors with 0 sugar, 0 calories, and 0 artificial colors. But C4 Original also contains ingredients that are formulated for performance, like carnosine beta-alanine, a clinically studied ingredient that helps to kick fatigue to the curb, like Beta Power, which is a clinically studied ingredient that helps with performance. So when I say performance energy, I'm not just saying it. You're literally getting clinically studied performance ingredients in every sip of C4 Original. So get rid of your sugary energy drink, because that's not doing anything for you. If you want energy to perform and dominate life, get your hands on C4 Original.
All right, well, we're back to live conditions. As you saw there, the guys that we were riding along with are having a little bit of connectivity issues. It may be everybody, unfortunately. I'm not really sure. Yeah, it looks like everybody's blinking. All right, well, we'll keep an eye on that, because as it stands right now, they shouldn't be blinking. We're having some connectivity issues, so I apologize, folks, for that. As you see, the pace truck was just doing wheel hops. Hopefully that sorts itself out here, as iRacing's getting ready to do a massive update here tomorrow morning. Sometimes that does happen here with these servers. I do know that there is a storm going through Georgia right now, so I'm hoping that that's not what's causing these issues. You know what? We'll go to commercial break real quick. I know I hate to do that as these guys get kicked off here, but I want to try to get this sorted out. Looks like they're going to. No, doesn't look like it's going to sort it out. All right, folks, I'll be right back with you.
Green flag.
Take everything that you know about your typical energy drink and kick it to the curb, because today we're talking about C4 Original. And this isn't an energy drink, this is a performance energy drink. Well, what does that mean? Well, C4 Original contains 200 milligrams of caffeine, that explosive C4 energy. Also contains incredible flavors with 0 sugar, 0 calories, and 0 artificial colors. But C4 Original also contains ingredients that are formulated for performance, like carnosine beta-alanine, a clinically studied ingredient that helps to kick fatigue to the curb, like Beta Power, which is a clinically studied ingredient that helps with performance. So when I say performance energy, I'm not just saying it. You're literally getting clinically studied performance ingredients in every sip of C4 Original. So get rid of your sugary energy drink, because that's not doing anything for you. If you want energy to perform and dominate life, get your hands on C4 Original.
All right, I think iRacing has got their stuff together here. Let me get back to live conditions. I apologize, folks. I don't know what was going on there. I think their servers are crashing or something. Either that or they're being affected by some of the storms that are coming through the East Coast right now. I know we had a weather warning there in Georgia that there was going to be some thunderstorms, especially around 10:30, that were going to be pretty significant. So I apologize, unfortunately, if I'm not able to bring the entire race to you. But I'll do my best at the moment. See if I can bring this back up here. I thought it was me at first, but then I looked at all the quality issues, and it looked like everybody within the session was having quality issues. So hopefully it doesn't do it again. I didn't do anything special other than just wait it out. I didn't want to bring the race to you guys with it blinking out all over the place. But at the moment, it says the 76 of Wesley Burchett has made his way out front as he's been working his way to try to pick up that top spot. We'll see if he's able to maintain it. Kip Easley is there in second place, followed by Jeremy Banner. Before all that happened there, Brad Fulham was out in front. And unfortunately, I missed all the turn of events as well, just simply because this thing was skipping and stuttering and everything else. So not sure if it was doing it for those guys as well within the cars. Hopefully not. But for some reason here, it was doing it for me, and really weird. I've seen it happen before, but never happened to me personally. So we've got Wesley Burchett still out in front there in P1 as they got 8 laps to go. 27 of Kip Easley there. He's having a really strong race here as he wants to get back out there into the feature. And it looks like he's figured out his lane as he's knocking on the 76 door there. He wants that P1 spot. Jeremy Banner's sitting out there comfortably in P3 at the moment, but he does have Brad Fulham in the 19 right behind him. As these guys work together to try to catch that field up front, they may very well make that happen within 7 laps. Again, the cutoff here for this consolation race, this LCQ, is going to be the top 3 spots. So the number 19 is going to take over P3. At the moment, as things sit, it's going to be Burchett, Easley, and Fulham is going to will advance to the next session. Now, again, that's as of right this second. We'll have to see how that all plays out. You can see that number 19 of Brad Fulham there. He is catching the 2 leaders out in front here, Wesley Burchett and Kip Easley. He's wanting to take that P1 spot away. Again, all he's got to do is be the top 3, as the 24 is going to try to take that 3rd spot from the 19, but I don't know if he's going to be able to catch him here with 4 laps to go, as the 19's figured out his lanes. All right, we're going to keep an eye on the 19 here, see if he can catch. One, see if he can stay out in front of the 24, but also see if he can catch the leaders. All right, you see the 19 of Brad Fulham there, comfortably out in P3 at the moment. I don't think he's got any pressure from Jeremy Banner, but Jeremy Banner is only about 1.3 seconds back from Brad Fulham at the moment, which is nothing when it comes to on track. I mean, one little incident against the wall could happen. As you can hear, the spotter there says a couple more. We've got 2 laps to go here. as they come around, the leaders are going to come around here to catch the white flag, as Wesley Burchett did get his connectivity issues fixed. So glad to see that. And the 27 just having a great race here for this LCQ as he's going to make his way into the feature. It looks, or it appears that way anyways. And I believe we're going to be one to go here as these guys come around.
White flag this time.
Yeah, white flag. All right, you heard it. Again, anything can happen at the moment, but Wesley Burchett, see this P3 spot here. Let's see if just how close Jeremy Banner is. I don't think Jeremy Banner is going to be close enough to make that up. So it looks like the 19 of Brad Fulham, Kip Easley in that 27 Menards, and the 76 of Wesley Burchett in the Realtree camo car is going to be our 3 advancements into the feature. So congratulations, Wesley Burchett, Kip Easley, Brad Fulham on those the top 3 finishes as they advance into the final feature. Really, really exciting, folks. We're going to bring the feature to you here in just a moment. We've got a 5-minute warm-up. We're going to go ahead to commercial break. We'll be right back with you as these guys get situated. Again, we've got 5 minutes until we get sorted out. And if we come back after commercial break and these guys are ready to go, we're going to go ahead and we'll probably advance the session at that point. So with that said, we will go to commercial break, and I'll be right back with you.
Take everything that you know about your typical energy drink and kick it to the curb, because today we're talking about C4 Original. And this isn't an energy drink, this is a performance energy drink. Well, what does that mean? Well, C4 Original contains 200 milligrams of caffeine, that explosive C4 energy. Also contains incredible flavors with 0 sugar, 0 calories, and 0 artificial colors. But C4 Original also contains ingredients that are formulated for performance, like carnosine beta-alanine, a clinically studied ingredient that helps to kick fatigue to the curb, like Beta Power, which is a clinically studied ingredient that helps with performance. So when I say performance energy, I'm not just saying it. You're literally getting clinically studied performance ingredients in every sip of C4 Original. So get rid of your sugary energy drink, because that's not doing anything for you. If you want energy to perform and dominate life, get your hands on C4 Original.
All right, folks. Well, we are waiting to get these guys situated here. I didn't want to rush them. It's not going to load the grid just yet, so we'll bring that to you guys as iRacing brings it to us. See if we can just watch these guys warm up. So Wesley Burchett's out there running a few laps. Chris Bedwell out there running a few laps. Brandon Robertson in the 9, as you saw him in the first heat. Chris Shoemaker in the second heat as he advanced. Joseph Mahar in the first heat. There in the 46. And so we should have a total of 15 drivers here battling it out for a total of 60 laps for bragging rights here as we go through another week of racing, and I look forward to next week's race. Let's see where we're at next week. All right, so next week we are actually at Martinsville. So we've got 200 laps at Martinsville on September 14th at 9:15 Eastern Standard Time. So for those that are tuning in, if you haven't seen us on Tuesday nights, we're in the truck series. So we're in the Tuesday night racing series, but we do race the NASCAR trucks normally. These guys elected to do the 87 cars as a poll. And so we honored that request, and these guys are having fun tonight out here with the 87 cars at Charlotte Motor Speedway. So, all right, these guys are just getting warmed up. Yeah, we've got a total of 15 drivers that have advanced from the heats and the consolation race into the final feature to battle it out for bragging rights here. Yeah, we should be getting pretty close to gridding here at the moment. Again, these guys are just warming up, so you can see that the clock on the warm-up has concluded. So these guys are going to be gridding. As you can see, the grid is now brought to you by iRacing here. So we've got, let's see, let me bring that up here. So we've got, again, we've got a total of 15 drivers. So we've got Chris Bedwell in the pole, excuse me. Garrett Brown in second, Zachary Taylor in third, Richard Swavely in fourth, Brandon Robertson fifth, David Brackett sixth, Matt Grenier seventh, Chris McLean eighth, James Kunkel ninth, Wyatt Brackett 10th, Joseph Mahar 11th, Chris Shoemaker 12th, and then we've got Wesley Burchett 13th, Kip Easley 14th, and around out our 15 drivers, Brad Fulham. All right, well, these guys are getting ready to get kicked off here. Let me see if I can show you guys all their paint schemes. I mean, there's some sharp-looking paint schemes out there. I know I've already said that. We're waiting for Zachary Taylor to grid here. We'll see if he misses the grid or not. He must be sleeping on the job. Yeah, it looks like he did miss the grid, so yes, he did. All right, so Chris Bedwell in the 7. And then you got Garrett Brown again in the 10. Richard Swaverly in that 38 car. Let's see if I can change the view. In the 38 car. Brandon Robertson there in the 9 Circuit City car. You got David Brackett in the 3, the CRC car. Matt Grenier in the 15 Kellogg car. You got Chris McLean in that 1-up car. James Kunkel in that 48 Jimmy Johnson throwback. Wyatt Brackett in that Domino's 33 car. Joseph Mahar in the 46 Superflow. Chris Shoemaker on the outside lane there in the number 4 Red Bull. Wesley Burchett, as you saw previously in the Realtree. And Kip Easley in the 27 Menards. And then you got Brad Fulham in that Labatt's number 19. We're going to go ahead and bring it up to the leader here as these guys go ahead and get ready to get kicked off. And again, folks, we got 60 laps for the feature. This is it. This is the main event. This is for all the marbles. Or, I should say, to avoid the marbles.
Green.
All right, looks like the number 7 is going to get a late jump there, which is going to bottleneck the rest of the inside lane, but that might have been intentional to keep these guys at bay as he slides up in front of the number 10 of Garrett Brown, who was really strong there in that first or second heat. Second heat, I believe. As these guys come around, it looks like Zachary Taylor, you're going to see coming off pit road there as he missed the grid. Again, I think he was sleeping on the job there. Brad Fulham looks like he's just kind of giving himself a little bit of distance here between the rest of the field in case something major happens, which could very well happen. See the fight here as we see back in 10th spot. Again, the winner of this takes it, folks. There's no other additional races. This is it. So whoever wins this race will be our champion. As you see the Zachary Taylor there way back on the back of the field there as he came off pit road, excuse me. Chris Bedwell's still out front at the moment, but Garrett Brown in the 10 Havoline car there, he's going to take that away. I don't think I mentioned him on the initial gridding. Maybe I did. I think I missed a few of the cars. Chris Bedwell, I don't think I mentioned his paint scheme. I think he's got the Miller Lite paint scheme. And then you got Richard Swavely, who's got the 38 paint scheme. I don't know what's on the front of his car. Can't read it going 200 miles an hour. As you can see, Wesley Brichette's getting right up to the rear end of the 38 there to give him a little nudge, help him along around the corner. If you do it the right way, it can help somebody. If you do it the wrong way, it can definitely hurt somebody. As the 76 is going to drive it in there, he definitely is trying to take over that position. Because he might be able to make it stick around the corner. I don't know. Richard Swavely may be carrying enough momentum around the corner where he's going to be able to keep that P6 spot at the moment. Chris McLean out there currently right now in P7. Aaron Adcock, I hope Emily was able to pass along the memo there, and if he maintains those tires, he might just be able to keep himself out front or get himself back out front and maintain it. I don't know. Richard Swavely's trying to help him along there. '27 was able to check up just a little bit there with Richard Swavely right behind him. All right, we're going to go ahead and ride along with the leader at the moment. See if Chris Bedwell can make the pass here early on in the race, or if he's going to be patient, just kind of lay back and see if he can get the long run here. Yeah, I love the sound of these cars again. I'm going to go ahead and turn it up for you guys. I'll keep quiet here for a minute. Get some sounds of racing. As you can hear, folks, those cars have got some throttle, some real throaty throttle sound to them. It's pretty awesome to hear. All right, well, at the moment, Garrett Brown is still able to maintain that P1 spot as he was there in that first heat or that second heat. I think it was the first heat. Chris Bedwell's been trying to peek it in there, but he just has not been able to do so as we ride along with Garrett Brown at the moment. It's giving you a really good perspective of the momentum that Chris Bedwell carries around in the corner, and then he just checks up just a little bit, and it just throws him back that far. Matt Grenier, though, is right behind Chris Bedwell. As you see, the 15 is going to dive out to the front there and see, and it looks like Wesley Burchett's going to go with him, try to get around the number 7, get up here to the front. As 7 dives onto the inside there as he tries to make moves, as he's going to make contact with the 15 as they almost go around as they collect it. As the 7's going to have to dive down to the bottom lane here as it looks like he's going to go around. And it looks like he's onto the inside wall. That may end his night. As he gets back out on track. I'll have to keep an eye on that. So he just went from like 4th position all the way to the back of the field. Unfortunately, that's going to really hurt him. And let's see if we can kind of bring that back up and see exactly what happened here. Let me see.
Sorry, Matt.
You can see he just got a lot of momentum there.
You're good.
And he just tapped him just a little bit. Now they had it both collected as they come around the corner there, but just when the car swings itself back around, the 15 was able to collect it back around in the corner. Great job to Matt Grenier in the 15 to keep that thing pointed straight. But the 7 just hit the banking there, and it disrupted the car, and it swung to the left, as you can see it here on the broadcast. And then what will happen is, as he tries to bring it back up on the banking with that momentum, it swings it back to the right again. And unfortunately, when the car gets to that point, he's trying to avoid those barrels right there, which he just does. Otherwise, he would have got stuck in the barrels, but then it brings him right into the inside wall. So he's got significant damage. He's going to have to get repaired under green flag conditions. So we'll have to see exactly how that's going to play out. But at the moment, Garrett Brown is still our leader. Chris Bedwell is still running laps. We'll have to see if he is able to maintain race speed or whether or not he's going to blow his car up due to overheating issues. Garrett Brown is on the backstretch here as he gets ready to take turn 3. They're going to catch, man, he's got a really great lead out front. If he just comfortably keeps it, he's got a 1-second lead out front from Wesley Burchett at the moment. He's definitely figured out how to wheel that car around these corners. And we got a battle here for second place currently. Chris McLean and 76 of Wesley Burchett. We'll have to see how that all plays out and whether or not they're going to be patient. Now, again, 18 laps. We're only 18 laps into 60 laps total. Looks like the 5 and the 76 are going to make contact. And the 76 is going to make some hard contact with that outside wall as everybody starts to check up. 5 is also going to be able to recollect himself, but the 27 was having to get off the throttle and out of his way. You'd think it was the last laps of the race here, folks, the way that some of these guys are racing. Number 9 is trying to peek it in there as he's like, all right, it's go time. Well, they didn't get much damage together, but man, the 76, thankfully for the heats, he's been able to reset his car. We don't have resets when it comes to the feature. And what I mean by resets is we do not have fast repairs We don't utilize fast repairs in the league at all. And for those that are not familiar with the iRacing terminology, as you see Chris Shoemaker really quick, before I tell you all that, Chris Shoemaker is going to pick up an extra spot here as he gets ready to pick up P5 from Wesley Burchett. He's got a little bit of damage out there on the passenger side of his car. 15 is looking to peek his nose in there as well. He should be able to make that stick around the corner. The 76 has got, doesn't look like extensive damage, but man, will it slow you down. Anyway, going back to what I was going to say real quick is some of the terminology within iRacing. A fast repair. A fast repair is basically the simulator allows us to set a fast repair, meaning that if you damage your car, you can go into the pit. You have to make it back into the pit, but you can use a fast repair if they're allotted. And what that does is, when you go back into the pit, it'll fix your car back to 100%. We don't do that for a number of reasons within this league. One is to tame down on the aggressive driving, because when drivers know that they've got a fast repair, and they know that there's going to be a caution that's going to come out because of something that that they were aggressively driving for, they're just going to go back out there, reset their car, and just do it all over again. So we set the expectation within the league that race smart, race clean, go out and race competitively, and race as you would in real life, but be respectful of other people, unless you don't want to be raced respectfully yourself. And all these guys are racers at heart. Some of them real life racers, some of them have been on the track in real life, and some of them have been simulation racing for some of them 10, 15, 20 years. So, and maybe even greater than that, to be honest with you. So sim racing has come a long way just over the last 5 years, as you can tell, based on the broadcast and what NASCAR did with the Pro Invitational and the professional drivers. And now we've got we've actually got professional organizations, NASCAR organizations, that own e-sports teams within the iRacing world that race in the Coca-Cola Series on Tuesday nights, same time that we broadcast. So if you've never had an opportunity to check that out, go over to, obviously we want you to watch our broadcast, but in the event you've never watched a Coca-Cola Series race through the iRacing NASCAR collaboration and partnership, I encourage you to go over there to Podium Esports and check it out. They put on a really great show, and very, very competitive. A lot of money on the line, to the tune of $300,000 per season. And so there's a lot of people think that this is just for fun. It is to a certain extent, but a lot of these guys are vested within the league itself, and they want to go out and win it for themselves. I mean, we offer incentives as a league to go out and win, one being a trophy for the regular season driver, and then also for the series champion, or the league champion, and then we also offer, we're not sure exactly what we're going to offer yet for the team this year, but we've definitely got incentives for drivers to go out and win. We want to kind of, being somebody that's loved hockey my entire life, growing up in the North, I actually, the Stanley Cup concept is just really cool. 76 is trying to keep it off the wall right there, as we're just kind of paying attention real quick to see exactly what these guys are doing. Joseph Maher is he's back there in P12 at the moment. I don't know if he had anything happen to him or if he's just kind of playing it safe at the moment, kind of preserving tires. Garrett Brown is still out in front, and he's got almost a 3-second lead on Richard Swavely in the 38. So he just got to comfortably turn laps here, but if he does have a caution, that's going to rack him back up. That is going to help him, though, with new tires. But he's going to have to do it all over again. And he's got a very, very comfortable lead out in front here at the moment. So we'll keep an eye on him. Now there are going to be green flag pit stops in the event that there are no on-track instances. So, and I expect that these guys are going to have to come down here to pit road very, very shortly. So we should hear that over the comms here shortly, as they do and are required to announce that they're going to pit road, whether it be through text, a text button within the simulation software, or verbally over race control. So we'll have to hear. You guys will hear that verbally as people get ready to come around. As we're halfway, and I think again they wanted to split the race. So I have a feeling they're probably you're gonna see Garrett Brown coming in here within the next lap or two.
Five pitting this time.
And there you go. So you heard Chris McLean in the 5 pitting, along with the 4, and I believe Garrett Brown is probably going to go in and pit now with the rest of the field. No, he doesn't. He does not elect to do so. You're going to see, let's see, Chris McLean's going to go into pit road. We'll see if these guys can make it in there safely. It looks like they were able to do so. Looks like Joseph Mahar was able to make it into pit road as well. So we've got 4 drivers. I say 4 drivers. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4 drivers that have come down to pit road, but we've also got 2 drivers. Looks like Kip Easley and James Kunkel. Excuse me, Kip Easley and James Kunkel, teammates within the series, are coming off pit road. Garrett Brown is still out there running his laps. As we see here, I'm just looking to see exactly where everybody's at. So Brad Fulham's coming down here to pit road. Same with Richard Swavely. Who else do we got? And it looks like Brandon Robertson, Chris McLean, and Chris Shoemaker are just now coming off pit road. And then there's our race leader, Garrett Brown, at the moment, who has now went down pit road. But our new race leader, going to be Wyatt Brackett. He has not come into pit lane yet, into pit road, excuse me. So I expect that he's probably going to come down either this time or next time around. And he is not going to come down yet. Matt Grenier right behind him there in the 15. He is not going to come down. Wesley Burchett in the 76. He's still out there, but in P3. His car is not too damaged. I don't see a lot of damage on that car, so he should be hopefully okay. Wyatt Brackett's still out here in front. We've got 25 laps to go. I do not believe that Wyatt Brackett came into pit, but I may be wrong. Let's see if I can pull up the little pit strategy thing. Yeah, so Wyatt Brackett's still out there on the same pit. So it looks like Brackett, Grenier, Burchett, David Brackett are all on the same pit strategy, I believe. Looks like Zachary Taylor there, where he missed the pit, the initial start. He's short pitted, excuse me. And so it looks like Brandon Robertson now 4 laps in, Chris Shoemaker, they're on the same pit strategy. So interesting. So they've got to be. He's going to have to come in at some point here, or the guys on the fresher tires right now. Brackett, Grenier, Burchett, and Brackett are all currently on the same. I think what they're really waiting on is they're trying to bank on a caution with all these guys being a lap down. In the event that that does happen, they'll be able to go in and pit and still be out front. But I haven't seen a caution. Only, what do we have? One caution? Richard Swavely just said he sped. He's sped on pit road. He's out. Oh, man, that stinks. It happens. Well, you never know. Chances are, let's see, what do you... Yeah, you're 2 laps down. So, I don't know. Anything can happen here at the end of the race. Glad to see you still out there. All right, so Bedwell, currently right now, Chris Bedwell is the only driver that has retired the race. Richard Swavely, excuse me, in the 38 is still out there. 2 laps down, but he might be able to get his laps back. You can see Matt Grenier, so let me see, where is... Wyatt Brackett is just now coming off pit road, so it looks like he pitted, but Matt Grenier is going to have to come in and pit as well. Looks like he may come in this time. Nope. Yes? No? Nope. All right, let's go back and look real quick and see. So Grenier is on 40. Yeah, so he must be saving fuel, but they're going to catch him. So Burchett, Brackett, David Brackett, Wesley Burchett, and Matt Grenier are all on the same pit strategy. Wyatt Brackett decided to go in and get fuel and tires, and it's probably a good idea because the amount of time that you give up on those old tires, the field is going to catch him at some point. As you can see, they're just trying to stretch it. They're going to have the freshest tires on this. If there end up being a caution, they're going to have the freshest tires on the track. And so that's really what they're banking on at the moment, because they're going to have to come down the pit for fuel no matter what. The problem is, the longer they stay out, the longer Brandon Robertson and this other group is going to catch them. So as you can see, Matt Grenier right now is coming into the front stretch. Brandon Robertson and them are now coming to the front stretch. Now they are a lap down, so if they pass Matt Grenier is basically, if again, don't quote me on this because it's his strategy, but I think what he's banking on is that, oh my gosh.
Good job, bud. Tell me what you got quickly.
There you go. That's what he was banking on right there. So it looks like Kip Easley made contact with somebody. We're going to go back and look and see exactly what happened. All right, so we just missed that. Let's back it up real quick. Looks like his night might be over there with Joseph Mahar. So it looks like they were just coming in the corner.
His car backstretch.
27 was kind of arcing the corner there, but the 46 was getting ready to fill that gap and just made a little bit of contact. Made a little contact there. The 38, unfortunately, is going to get tied. Actually, I think he might have missed it, but he's he might have missed it. But 27 definitely got demolished. 48, I think the 48 missed that. Let me go back and see real quick. I think the 48 made a little bit of contact there with Joseph Mahar, but Joseph Mahar definitely some significant damage there on the front of his car. his night may be over. 27 is definitely losing a bumper there. Not a bad front end. We'll have to see how things play out.
Do you know if there's wave arounds?
All right, folks, we're going to go to commercial break. We will be right back with you.
I would think so. Are you getting the lucky dog?
Take everything that you know about your typical energy drink and kick it to the curb, because today we're talking about C4 Original. And this isn't an energy drink, this is a performance energy drink. Well, what does that mean? Well, C4 Original contains 200 milligrams of caffeine for that explosive C4 energy. Also contains incredible flavors with 0 sugar, 0 calories, and 0 artificial colors. But C4 Original also contains ingredients that are formulated for performance, like carnosine beta-alanine, a clinically studied ingredient that helps to kick fatigue to the curb, like Beta Power, which is a clinically studied ingredient that helps with performance. So when I say performance energy, I'm not just saying it. You're literally getting clinically studied performance ingredients in every sip of C4 Original. So get rid of your sugary energy drink, because that's not doing anything for you. If you want energy to perform and dominate life, get your hands on C4 Original.
All right, folks, we are back to live conditions here as we had to sort a few things out really quick on the admin side of it. And because we elected not to count the caution laps, just to kind of explain to you guys what we were talking about there, is because we elected not to count the caution laps, the system does not automatically, or the race software does not automatically.
Am I getting the wave around or not?
Did they get the wave around?
Yeah.
Well, I would have stayed out. Me too.
Yeah, same here. Too bad. Yeah, same here.
All right, guys, we will be right back. I need to sort one more thing out real quick. All right, guys, we are back to live conditions. I apologize there. We missed the restart. We just wanted to clarify a few things there. As I was mentioning before, I got interrupted there. I just wanted to explain real quickly to the audience here, you guys out there watching, is that anytime you elect not to count the caution laps, the system is not automatically set up to do lucky dog candidates. So you can't have both. You either have no caution laps count or you have a lucky dog candidate. So in the event that they had a caution, which they did, the lucky dog candidate, which would have been the lucky dog candidate, asked about the wave around, which you probably heard vocally there over race chat. And unfortunately, that candidate had pitted. And so we were trying to figure out and sort that out. But then we also had some guys that stayed out that got the wave around. Not sure exactly why there was confusion there, but wave rounds do not affect how we... Oh, the 88 made contact there. Let's see if we can see who exactly... Anyway, we're back to green flag racing. There was no exceptions made for anybody. We just wanted to clarify that. All right, so 88 made contact with somebody, or somebody made contact with the 88. Not really sure who that was that the 88 made contact with there. It was kind of off the screen, but we're going to keep an eye on these guys as they come back around. With 13 laps to go, it's going to be a fight here as Matt Grenier is comfortably out front here in 15th, but he does have the 19 of Brad Fulham trying to get his lap back. Brad Fulham right now is trapped a lap down, and he's trying to get that lap back from the 19 or the 15, just in the event that there is another caution. I would think Matt Grenier, instead of racing him, is eventually going to let him go. But the problem is as you saw there in the top part of the screen, Wyatt Brackett is doing the best he can here to try to hold off the 88 as they're racing side by side. So it looks like the lead for up front here is not going to change because Matt Grenier is the leader. David Brackett is the second place car, but you've got the 19 of Brad Fulham who's able to get back on the lead lap there. And so he's the first car that's on the lead lap. And you can see Chris McLean in the 5. He's going to get his lap back. Now, you can just see Chris McLean made contact there with the outside wall as he's trying his hardest to get back on the lead lap. Not really sure. I'm still trying to figure out what the mix-up there was on that pit stop. Exactly why there was confusion. Again, when you're in live conditions and you're racing, sometimes it's kind of difficult there. But we got 9 laps to go, folks. Matt Grenier is still comfortably out front, and the guys that stayed out and played that pit strategy, man, did it work for them, because a lot of this field is a lap down. The only people that are racing currently right now for this lead is the 15, David Brackett in the 3, Wyatt Brackett in the 33. Now, Wyatt Brackett had went in and pitted, but he had pitted prior. He had stayed out a long time as well with Matt Grenier and David Brackett, and went in to get some fresh tires, and he came back out and was able to make up some time before the caution had come out. Garrett Brown is still in the lead lap. He's somebody that we're going to keep an eye on here, as he's currently in P4 with 8 laps to go, as he's going to try to make his way up front. Joseph Mahar still on the lead lap. Even though he's got a lot of damage here on the front of his car, he's still able to wheel that thing up into the top 5. followed by Wesley Burchett in the 76, who's obviously had several times tonight has had damage, but that car looks pretty clean right now, with him being able to get that damage repaired during that caution. Brad Fulham in the 19th dropped back a few spots here, currently in P7. Chris McLean is still dropping, currently in P8. He has got himself back. Looks like he's got himself back. No, he doesn't. He's still a lap down. So Brad Fulham, again, is the only driver that's worked his way up here. As you can see, the 15 right here is the leader. Chris McLean in the 5 and Chris Shoemaker in the 4 are trying to get around the 15 before there's a late-stage caution, in the event that there is, so that they're not still stuck a lap down, because the 15 will probably go in for, he'll probably go in for tires, but I don't know. It's really hard to say, to be honest with you. If there is a caution here, that the 15 strategy, along with the 3 and the 33 and the 10 and the 46, is going to be pretty much thrown out the window. So we'll have to kind of see exactly how it's going to play out. But right now, our race leader, Matt Grenier, in the 15 Cornflakes car, is still out there in P1 fighting that lap traffic as they try to fight him to stay on the lead lap. So there's a battle up here to stay on the lead lap, and there's a battle to stay up here in the front. So David Brackett is not too far behind. He's about a second behind Matt Grenier in the 15, but at the moment, Matt Grenier looks like he may run away with this thing here with only 4 laps to go, as him and Brad Fulham are running side by side, as Brad Fulham's trying to get back on the lead lap so that nothing happens here in the event that there's a late stage caution. Again, just to reiterate, if there is a late stage caution, that is going to throw the 15s and the 3 and the 33 strategy out the window. But as it sits right now here, folks, we've got some great racing here up front. As the 5 and the 19 are battling it out, they are a lap down, but they're currently in P7, P8, so they're not out of this. They're just trying to get their lap back. Problem is, with them racing, it lets the 15 have the clean air up front here, and he's just kind of walking away with the race, as he's still got a second gap in front of David Brackett. Which great to see, though. We've got 1, 2, 3 Black Car Mafia cars up here in the front. We got Matt Grenier in the 15. Again, this is not a points race this evening, but it's definitely bragging rights for this team as they lead 1, 2, 3 right now to possibly close this race out in first, second, and third. All right, we're on the final lap, folks. Again, the 15 is still out front comfortably, followed by David Brackett there in the 3. Wyatt Brackett in the 33. Their strategy to stay out longer than everybody else here on this pit strategy paid off for them. With that late stage caution, that just sealed the deal for these guys to rack up first, second, and third. What a great race for the 15, the 3, and the 33 of Black Car Mafia. Their strategy paid off. They had a late stage caution, trapped everybody else a lap down, allowed these guys to work together comfortably up front here, and they were able to walk away with a 1, 2, 3 finish. So we're going to bring all 3 of these guys in at the same time here to finish this race off. What a great race. Congratulations to Matt Grenier and Black Car Mafia. Really, really, really fun race. Really exciting. All right, folks, we're going to watch the 15 burn it down here, and then we'll go to commercial break, and I'll bring these guys in for a little interview. Then we'll go ahead and close out the evening. And we look forward to seeing everybody back here again next Tuesday, 9:15 Eastern Standard Time, for the Martinsville 200. Again, Martinsville 200, it is going to be, if you think this track was tough, Martinsville and trucks, it's going to be a very interesting race. With it being so close together racing and such a small track, the slightest little incident can take out half the field. So We shall see how that race will go. I know last season it was definitely a challenge for the series, but these guys have really proven this time around to really clean up the racing, and we've had some really great battles and racing throughout the series with many of the different drivers, and so it shall be interesting to see. The 15's taking his victory lap. Doesn't look like he is going to burn it down. We may see here. I don't see him not burning it down. Let's see if we can. Just to read off the final results, as you see there on your screen, folks, Matt Grenier in the 15 wins the All-Star race here at Charlotte in the 87 cars. Garrett Brown finishes second. Actually, that is not correct. Or is it correct? I don't think that's right. Maybe it is. If Garrett Brown finished in front of those guys, I don't know what happened with Wyatt Bragg. I don't think those are the unofficial. I guess they are the unofficial results. Wow. Anyway, Matt Grenier in first, I believe. I don't think that that's right, unless there was a penalty or something. Huh. All right, folks, well, we'll be right back after these messages. We're going to go ahead to commercial break. I'll bring these guys in for their interview, and we shall hear from them. Be right back after these messages. All right, well, I better get that off the screen here. All right, let's bring in our race winner here. Bear with me just a second. As I bring in Matt Grenier, the number 15. Great job, Matt. Quite honestly, it was an exciting race all around. It was pretty cool to see you guys. I thought for some reason 1, 2, 3 was going to be Black Car Mafia, but after everything sorted out there, I don't know if there was a late penalty or something where it sorted out the results, but it looked like for some reason I thought it was you three up front, and it doesn't look like it played out there. So I was going to bring all three of you guys in at the same time to interview, but anyway, it must have just not updated. But congratulations on your win on the All-Star race. And you got bragging rights.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there at the end. I haven't had a chance to go back and look at it. But certainly a crazy way to end off that one there. We were playing the long game, and we caught that lucky caution, and sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. I feel like we had a pretty good car tonight anyway, so I was just trying to make my way back up after that early slide. But you know what? Sometimes the cards fall in your favor, and I'm going to take it.
No, absolutely. They definitely fell into y'all's favor. I was actually watching your strategy as you guys were coming around, and I said, you know what? He's banking on a late-stage caution, then boom, the caution came out, and it sealed that deal for you guys. It trapped basically the entire field a lap down. I was still trying to figure out throughout the broadcast why there was confusion as to why people thought they weren't going to get the wave around. Not really sure exactly what that whole confusion was there, but I know that there was some confusion as far as the lap or the lucky dog, but that had nothing to do with wave rounds and all that stuff. So interesting turn of events, but in the end there you pulled it off, and you were able to. It looks like I think everybody made a mistake because they didn't realize they were a lap down, and they pitted with you guys. I think is what ended up happening.
Yeah, I think I'm not sure. I mean, I don't race a ton of the 87s, so I know the rules are a little bit different than what we're all used to, and I'm wondering if that kind of
Well,
played
the
a
only
little bit of factor in what people were thinking of in terms of strategy.
it should have been the same rule. The only difference was that they had elected, you guys had elected not to have the caution laps count. So anytime that the caution laps do not count, you cannot have enabled lucky dogs. But that shouldn't have affected the wave rounds. And so I think that's where the confusion came in. But I don't think everybody knew that they were a lap down, and they came in and they pitted. And so it threw a lot of confusion with a lot of people. And anyway, it played out to your strategy because it was you, Brackett. It was you, David Brackett. Wyatt had went in for fuel and tires, I believe, or went in for tires at least. But I think it was just you three. Maybe Brown, maybe Garrett had stayed out as well. But I was watching you guys, and again that caution there at the last part of the race there sealed the deal for you guys, and it was pretty cool to see you guys walk away with it.
Yeah, it's incredibly lucky. Better to be
yeah, absolutely
lucky than good sometimes. I got to be honest. I was about to hit pit road, and
I knew you were coming in because your fuel. I mean, you had to come in for fuel.
I had about 5 laps left, and I'm like, I gotta make use of these tires somehow, and I was losing a ton of time to Brandon. He was just flying, which I kind of expected, but we laid our bed, made our bed, so we had to lay in at that point. But I was ready to hit pit road, and at the last minute, Wyatt comes on the radio and is yelling caution, caution. So I stayed out, and it just worked out.
Yeah, it worked out, buddy. Well, congratulations, Matt. Good to have you back here in the booth with me. And it would be exciting to see what you guys do next week at Martinsville. You guys have had a really great run here with the Black Car Mafia so far, and I'll be excited to see where you guys finish next week and going forward. So hats off to you.
Thanks, Dylan. Looking forward to it.
Thank you, buddy. All right, folks, let's bring in our second place finisher, Mr. Garrett Brown. Excited to have him up here in the booth with me. What an exciting race. Obviously, this is not a points race, but this is for bragging rights. And I'm not sure exactly what happened there at the end, because I really thought, nothing against you, but I thought that it was 1, 2, 3 Black Car Mafia. You'll hear me say that on the broadcast if you go back and watch it. But for some reason, the way that things worked out, you actually picked up the P2 spot.
Yeah, that was chaos coming to the checkered.
So something must have happened there at the checkered that I missed.
Coming out of 4, there's contact. Zach Taylor and David Brackett got together. Coming out of 4 and then collected Wyatt. So then coming to the line, they were kind of spinning towards the infield, and then I picked them off, getting to the line just barely.
Yeah, man, awesome. Well, you had a strong race tonight. You obviously figured it out, how to run these cars in the corners and stuff. And it's not, it's all about acceleration and taking it easy around the corners. You were able to not heat up the tires too much to where the car was obviously not too hard to drive, and so it was kind of impressive to see you there. I think you were on heat 1.
I was in heat 2.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. So it was heat 2 that you pretty much dominated that for a majority of the race. So it was pretty cool to watch that. I was excited to see you back out there, and in the feature. So hey, you made it work. P2. At the end of the day, again, this is really just for bragging rights, but that was pretty cool.
Chaos to the checkered. Yeah, it was a lot of fun tonight. Those cars are, like you were saying, just really fun to drive with the throttle control, and you can 5 or 7 lap stint, and then the guy behind you can have a good 5 to 7 laps. So there's a lot of swapping positions and good runs you can get. And like you said, these cars are all about kind of managing that right front, because it goes really fast and you got so much wheel in it. But just kind of trying to keep the car on the paint was my strategy, just trying to get it to turn in 1 and 2, especially down there on the apron just about, and then kind of getting it straight on exit. But it was fun, man.
Yeah,
there's a lot of fast guys out there.
Yep, it was definitely fun as usual. And the only unfortunate thing is the fact that I don't get to get out there and race with you guys only on Sunday. So
I know, man.
It's all right.
We need to post one where you can get out there too one night.
Right. Yeah, we'll definitely do that. All right, Garrett. Well, it's always a pleasure talking to you, buddy. Thanks again for always being awesome here in the league, and we look forward to seeing you next week at Martinsville.
Hey, thanks, Dylan. I appreciate it, as always. See you.
See you, buddy. All right, folks, we're going to bring in David Brackett. We'll see if we can get his perspective on what exactly happened with that last little incident there on coming to the checkered flag. David, you got a copy? think you're muted. I might have to unmute you. All right, let me know if you got a copy now.
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, buddy. Well, hey, I'm glad to have you up here with me. Every other time I think I've had an opportunity to interview you, I haven't been able to find you in Discord. So I'm glad I got to snag you up here tonight, even though this is just the All-Star race. But awesome job tonight, P3. Pretty awesome. And it's pretty cool to see you and Wyatt working together there on the strategy, as well as Matt Grenier. 1, 2, 3. I thought if you go back and watch the broadcast towards the end of the race there, I thought I was actually going to bring all three of you guys in for a final interview for just the All-Star race, because I thought it was going to be a Black Car Mafia sweep there, but I didn't see the incident that happened there at the end of the race. But either way, P3 is pretty darn good after everything that happened. So long game worked out for you guys.
Yeah, it's kind of what I was trying from the beginning. Right at the start of the race, I screwed up and tagged the wall, but I just wanted to drop back and let everybody race it out and save some tires until I knew I was going to have to pit. And I can't keep tires under the car like most of these guys can. And then at the end of the race, I had a senior moment. Didn't realize that there were other cars. I thought there was just the three of us up there on the lead lap. I thought there was a bigger gap back, and I just kind of slowed down to make sure we'd finish that way. And damn, there was other cars there ready to go. So that was my bad. Senior moment.
There was. Oh no, it's no worries. I mean, I'm 41, and I don't have the senior moments just yet, but I do get forgetful from time to time. But but no, it was actually. I mean, it worked out to y'all's favor, because I was watching you and Matt and Wyatt had went in for fuel. And I knew you guys were going to have to come in for fuel, and then immediately you guys had that caution, which helped everything, because it trapped 90% or 80% of the field back a lap down. And then I don't know. Again, I was trying to talk to Matt about the confusion with the lap cars. I think everybody that was a lap down didn't know that they were a lap down, and then they pitted with you guys, and so they stayed a lap down. So regardless of the lucky dog deal, that still wouldn't have helped him. So not really sure exactly why there was confusion there, but that has happened once before. I think it was in Atlanta that we had that situation happen, and thankfully we didn't give wave rounds this time around, even though this is just the All-Star race. But at the end of the day, it's still bragging rights, and you guys did a great job with Black Car Mafia, you yourself as a driver, and these cars are not easy to handle. So.
No, definitely it was different. I haven't done these in a long time, and actually the last time I think I've drove the 88s was back when it came off Project Wildfire back in 04, 05.
Oh, wow.
So it's been a while.
Well, they're definitely.
Got to give an apology to Brad. I believe I just tapped him in the middle, and he had a hell of a save in turns 1 and 2. I didn't mean to get into him. I think it came up as a 0X. And he had a hell of a save. I can't believe he kept it straight.
Well, there was some exciting bumping going around there, but unfortunately there was a few times where some guys had a little bit too much momentum in the corner, bumped a few people, and I have a feeling, unfortunately, we're going to see that next week at Martinsville as well, just simply because of the way that track is set up and the braking zones and how aggressive we do get into the corners. But, it's always a pleasure to race with you on Sundays. It seems like you and I are always racing it out somewhere, shape or form on the track. It seems like I always find you somewhere. And so it's a pleasure to talk to you finally in person here, and just happy to have you guys as part of the league, and look forward to seeing you next week.
Yes, sir. Thank you, and thank you for all you do for us.
Absolutely, buddy. All right, David, we'll appreciate it, and we'll see you at Martinsville next week. Congratulations again on the P3.
Thanks.
Yes, sir. All right, folks. Well, again, my name is Dylan Hastings. That is it for the Tuesday Night Racing Series. What an exciting all-star race with the 87 cars. It obviously met every one of my expectations. These guys were all true professionals, and they did a great job. We're going to have to go back, though, real quick. You'll have to excuse me for just a minute, because I want to go back and look at that last lap. And we'll have to find, let me see if we can find it. We're going to have to go back here. And I'm going to go to David. I'm going to lock it on David Brackett. But I want to go. Okay, so here's the incident that Garrett was talking, or actually David or Garrett was talking about. So as they were coming around, because I knew at that time that it was 1, 2, 3 Black Car Mafia. And so I don't know. So there's the 3 and the 33. And the other winner, or the other race leader, was the 15. So it was 1, 2, 3 Black Car Mafia. The 88 was a lap down. And so the 88 was aggressively pushing the 3. Not really sure why. But then he turned the 3. And so the 3 just didn't squeak by. But so you see the 33 and the 3 are going to slide. Now, again, the Wyatt's going off the screen here. Let me see if I can bring Wyatt. So then you see the 10 and the 48 coming up here. And so let me see if I can freeze that. I can't freeze it up any more than that. So if I go back, let me see if I can show. Okay, so Wyatt was trapped because he didn't cross the line. So he's trying to back it into the finish line. Oh man, that's funny. All right, so he backs it across the finish line. Okay, so he finishes in 5th. But in the process, you've got Joseph Mahar. Let me back this up real quick. So you've got, again, it was 1, 2, 3 Black Car Mafia. Whoop, hit wrong button. Hold on. Let me back it up. So you got David Brackett, who was able to recollect himself, as you just heard from. Okay, he crosses the line in P3. But before that, you can see right here. Now, Swaverly was 2 laps down. Let me go back. Let me go back again. So Swaverly right there, but then right there. So you see that the 3, because of the contact made with the 88, which really shouldn't have happened because the 88 was a lap down. And then you got the 10 right there. So you got the 10 and the 48 racing. Now the 48 was a lap down as well. So the only other person on the lead lap was the 10 at that time. So Matt Grenier had crossed the line. Then Garrett Brown had snuck through because of the contact with the 3. And Wyatt Brackett ended up in 5th because he had to back it in off of the infield. He had to back it up across the finish line. And Garrett Brown, David Brackett was able to come around after he had made contact with the wall in the 88. And then Joseph Mahar was able to sneak it in there as you see him there. He was able to sneak it in there as you see him pass the 3 that was getting recollected and across the line. What an awesome finish. I mean, again, it was unfortunate for David Brackett because David Brackett really had the P2 spot locked up. The 3 had the 3rd place spot locked up. Not really sure why the 88 was aggressively driving like that because, quite honestly, again, this isn't for points, so not really a big deal. But in the event that stuff like that happens, it's a matter of, again, it's just a matter of, trying to figure out exactly why you'd race somebody that aggressively if you're a lap down. But nonetheless, it was an exciting race. It was a lot of fun. And as always, folks, I enjoy broadcasting to all of you out there watching and that tune in each and every week. I thank you all for your support. Thank you to Light Electric Company contractors and Thomas Light for his support in sponsoring the league, as well as Rhyme Sick Coin. Truly appreciate their support, and 80K Coolers, 80K Brands, 80K Outdoor Brands, excuse me. I truly appreciate all of your support in helping this league be as fun as it is, but also be as attractive as it is to all of these great drivers out there that just each and every week bring some exciting racing, and a truly pleasure to broadcast these guys and bring you guys these races. So again, tonight's race was not a points race. There was nothing really on the line here other than the bragging rights. I told them before the broadcast we try to get some McDonald coupons there back, those Christmas coupons out to somebody if they still make them. But as a joke, I was really just kidding. But I don't even know if they make them anymore, to be quite honest with you. But with that said, folks, thanks again so much for tuning in and watching this broadcast. Couldn't do this without your support. And with that said, I look forward to seeing you all tune in next week, Tuesday night, 9:15 Eastern Standard Time. We'll be back here for the Tuesday Night Racing Series. Until next time, thanks again, and we'll see you next week.